Hi guys, how you doing? So here we are at last, the Imperial Armour, Imperial Navy Thunderbolt, which is the heavy fighter. I've got to say it's one of my favourite pieces. I've always wanted to build one, I've never had the chance, and now I have the chance to have a go at one. Okay, so what have we got? There's about 34 pieces all in all, as you can see there. It's a beautiful model to build. It's made by Forge. Rather we just spin this round, we can get a look. It has that sort of like very 1950s sort of like, I don't know, maybe 40s or maybe 30s actually, 30s 40s sort of look about it. And then it has little twists of Spitfire and Hurricane added in there. It's a beautiful model, and I've got to say, really enjoy it. We're going to be building it with the landing gear already up, basically, so it's not out at all. So I went a bit dumb there. As you can see there, they've got it hanging out. We're going to have ours, so it's all put away, and we're going to set it on a flying stand as well, because I want to do a series of 3 of these at some point for my army, basically. And we'll just have a look at the finished piece. It looks just stunning. And if we just take these away, so I've been dry fitting it and just playing around. It's not glued together yet, but it's all dry fitted. There's some gaps within it that need to be filled, and for that we're going to be using deluxe materials, perfect plastic putty. So we're going to be trying this out on it as well. I've never used it before, so this is going to be very, very exciting. But as it says, it fills fine gaps and creates invisible seams. We don't want visible seams, we want invisible seams. So this is what this does. And to put this thing together, we're going to be using Deluxe Materials Rocket Max and Rocket Blaster, which is their kicker. I've gone for the thick, non-runny glue, so I've got stuff all over my hands. I've been painting orc things, which you'll see on a later date. I've gone for the thick non-runny glue because I prefer having a bit more control over it than the runny. Now, Deluxe Materials do, I think, 3 other different types of super glue. I may be wrong, but we can check those out as well in the future. There's a fast setting medium, a crystal clear, and there's a super thin penetrating super glue as well. And I always use a kicker because it basically glues it straight away and works really well. So this is all new to me, so it's going to be very, very exciting. As you can see, it's a beautiful piece to work with. I've already started dry fitting it just to make sure that all the pieces fit in. There's a little bit of work that we need to do to it in order to make it work properly and fit nicely, and we'll do that, and then I'll come back to you in a second. And the idea is to build this step by step, and also do a painting of it as well. Okay guys, you take care, speak to you later. Hi guys, welcome back. So let's get rid of that, that's dreadful, look how dirty this is getting. This is my presenting mat as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take our Rocket Max. Now I've been using this, it's very, very nice, I have to say that. Not that I have to say that, I'm going to say that because I actually do like this glue. It actually is quite good. It's got a nice durability as well, nice and strong. Okay, now I'm going to take this piece, and that slots in there like so, and that slots over the top. Ooh, nearly there, get there in the end. Just make sure that's flush with the back. Let's just bit of a squeeze to get it in there because it's a very tight fit. That's what she said. So I had to say that because one of you would have written that anyway on there. Okay, so you would have put that, you would have put that in there. There would have been a comment down there saying that's what she said. So well done. Got there before you. Yada yada yada. Okay, so we're just going to check this bit out, make sure this will be flush. We might have to do a bit of work on the back engine there just to clean that up. It'll just be a quick slice. Okay, so I'm now going to take our back part and just look at that, make sure that'll go on. got a slight gap in there, but I'm really not fussed because that'll be hidden. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue again, and we're just going to run it in. Oops, in there. I'm incredibly clumsy today. You won't believe the things that I've done. I'm just going to run it all the way around just to get a nice little seal. And we'll do that as well. Okay. So I don't see this model being really hard to build. It's a beautiful piece, and I've got to say it's early Forge World, because this has been around for a while, and I've got to say it's been one of my sort of fantasies to put this together. I say fantasy, that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? It's been one of my dreams to put this together because it's just, I've never really had a purpose for it in the past. I never really needed it for my armies. Let's just put a bit in there. Let's do, oh, just not the camera, I do apologise. Okay, we're just going to take our kicker. I'm just going to hold those in place there. I want a nice sort of flush look, so you're going to have to grip these in. Now if you've got any clamps you can put onto this, I'd go for it. Because I'm doing this to camera, I really haven't got time to clamp it all up, and this will be something that I probably spend quite a few days making sure it's flush and cleaning it up. But today gives me a chance just to go for it. Okay, now we're going to put our tail fin in, and I've got to say already, so I knocked the camera there, see I'm getting excited, you see, already that is starting to take hold. This is actually quite a large model, which is really nice, because if you're going to pay out for something like this, you want it to be quite a large model. I'm just going to clip the end off there, so I've got a bit of flush, better flush finish. You know, and it gives you something to do, because it's a lovely model to build, and you're going to have fun with this. Now, I've forgotten what I was talking about beforehand. Okay, yeah, so you want to make sure everything's flush, that everything fits in perfectly before you start building it. Like I said, I'm doing this to camera, so I'm cheating a little bit here and there. Just make sure that's correct. That looks good. There's a bit of cleaning up we can do, but we can sand this down after the model's been done. I really don't mind about these little bits and pieces here and there, because you can just sand those back and clean them up. Okay, so our body is starting to take shape, and that's really nice. Next on my list of gluing things, just got to make sure that we've got the right shape there. Like I said, there's going to be some filling in this. Don't be too worried about it, because we knew that was going to happen. You know, it's the beauty of resin. It's very rarely that you get pieces that are perfect, but when you do, very, very lucky. Okay, so we know that fits there nicely. Stuff like that we can sand back afterwards. We're going to fill that gap anyway. I just want to make sure that what we've got there is the right shape. Okay, so we can take that off. I think what we should do is we should put this on next. Like so. And then we can add the nose. Right, so we're going to add our glue down here. Down there. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to clip that into play. That should fit on nicely. Give it a bit of pull on it just to hold it into place. There we go. So we want to hear some clicking sounds. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to take my kicker and spray it in the inside and in there. Remember, because it's liquid, it'll find its way into the gaps as well, and I think a lot of people get worried about spraying kicker. Also, sometimes these things you do need to wear a little mask, so if you get a chance, just wear something that can protect you from the fumes. Okay, so we've got to get that in there, like so. So it all clicks together quite nicely, but you're left with quite a few gaps on it, which is a bit nasty, to say the least. But you know what, you can fix these quite easily, and this is what we're going to try with our putties, because you know that's the nice thing about it really. So you get to try out all these different materials and see what works for you. Okay, so let's just, there we go. Now we're in place. Now we're rocking. Get that in there. Okay, so this is the beginning of our shape. We've got our cockpit, which should just slot in nicely. I'm not going to be gluing this in just yet because I want to paint this up and paint the guy that sits in it as well. And we will save the canopy till last as well, because, well, we'll save cutting these out till last because obviously we want to spray it, and this is kind of cool to have that on there so we can spray it. Okay, so that's the main section of our body starting to be built. What else have we got? The engine. Now we're going to have to do a bit of work on the engine to fit that in, because we want a nice tight fit. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our blade, and I've got to be careful here because I can't really see what I'm doing, and we're just going to trim the edges off just like so. It's like we were slicing cheese or slicing butter. Okay, and please be careful of your fingers. I don't want your parents emailing me saying you cut off your hand. So let's just do the same there. Let's do that. So let's do it that way so I don't cut my hands off. There we go. As it's resin, it's always easy to manipulate and change. Okay, so hopefully that's made the gap a little bit, will make the gap a little bit tighter. And I may have to take it off the bottom. There we go. So I'm just going to slice away. I'll show you afterwards what I'm doing here. Basically, I'm just trimming these edges because I need this to fit in. We're nearly there. There we go, boom, just like so. Okay, so that's our engine that slots onto the back. So we just got to glue that, and again, take your super glue just around the edges, like so. Take that there. And just glue that into place. I'm just going to take my kicker because that'll get in there. There we go. You want to try and make sure it's centered well as well. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so there we have our main body. So I'm going to see you guys in a second where we're going to be working on other bits and pieces on here.